What's going on, Awesome Army? Welcome to the first episode of Crypto Awesome, where crypto is simplified and awesomeness is amplified. Well, today, let's take a look at CoinMarketCap just to kind of get a feel for the market. It is January 10th, and today is actually a big day in the cryptocurrency industry because the Bitcoin ETFs are getting approved. And not just Bitcoin, I believe there are going to be some additional ETFs coming out. I'm seeing there's got to be some Ethereum ones coming, and I bet you there's some XRP ones coming. So there will be a lot more ETFs, I believe, coming out. But let's just look today. There's over 2 million cryptos. There's 686 exchanges. The market cap right now is $1.73 trillion. And the 24-hour volume is 98 billion. Right now, we have a 50% Bitcoin dominance and a 17% ETH dominance on the entire market. Now, I'm not a huge fan personally about Bitcoin and ETH. You can actually check out my watch list here. Let's just go here to the watch list. But the project I want to talk to you about today is a potential 10,000x, a potential 55,000x, a potential 200,000x. There's a lot of potentials, especially if we are moving into the bull market, which I think this year and next year, if we're going to look at the actual charts here, which we can, let's look at market cap chart actually. You can see that every few years we get a spike and then it drops. This was 2018, right? But 2017 I believe 2018. Let's see, every 4 years, so 2024 down to 2018. 2020. So this has been a 4-year cycle here from 2020. So this was the beginning, in 2020 was the beginning of the bull market, the last bull market. And really it peaked at the first time in 2021. So 2020 is when Bitcoin halved. Bitcoin halves every 4 years, and 2020 was a halving. Also 2016 was a halving. So it took actually 2 years after the first this halving over here before the first peak was reached. So it happens in April. Let's see, this is 2017. So actually, we got to go back to April of 2016. So April of 2016 was really when the first halving happened, right here. Market cap of $8 billion. And then, boom, the market cap shoots up to $630 billion 2 years after that halving. And then it actually starts right into a bear market again. From 2018 to 2019, really? Because what happens right here, check this out. This is still 2019. So at the end of 2019, things start coming up, which is what's happening again right now. So 2019 into 2020, when the next halving was, the next halving, somewhere right around here, April. Boom. Look, that's when Bitcoin halved again. And then right after that, shazam, everything shot right up. So this is a very interesting chart because we can actually see this. And if we go on log, actually, where's log? I'm not sure how we get to log on this chart here, but you can actually see the one over here too. 2012, and then 2016, and then 2021. Okay, so 2020 was a halving right here in April, right here. At the bottom there is when it halved, right before the full run up from April to May. But that was a year. That was May 2021. So it started a bull run that just started ramping all the way up this whole rest of the year from April all the way till it peaked out in May of the next year. So this was a long bull run. Then we had a nice correction, and then it shoots right back up again. Now this is in 2021. This was at the end of 2021, which led us right into a bear cycle. So 2020 was the halving, 21 was the big shoot up, and then the bear cycle begins, right? So I think that's the same pattern that we're going to kind of see this time, maybe not. But 2024 is the halving. And look what's just happened. Boom. We've just went from a $1.5 trillion market cap in September of last year, 23, to a almost double, 75% increase in just a few months in January. Now, in April, if this trend continues, we are going to see some, look at the difference too between these peaks. If what we see here, happens again and rhymes, it's going to be ridiculous. We were at a $3 trillion market cap at the peak here, that second peak. And, we could easily triple that because over here, it was under 1 trillion and then it peaks at 3. So if we 3x the market cap, then we could be nearing $10 trillion in the entire crypto market by basically May of next year. But the bull market is happening right now. We're in it. But really the project I want to talk about today is TitanX. Now TitanX is built on the Ethereum blockchain. If you guys haven't heard about TitanX, I want you to do some research. Please do not do any investing based upon what I say, but do your own research. But this is the TitanX chart. It is so brand new. It's extremely brand new. We got the Ether scan. We got some stuff. But I'm going to show you the actual TitanX site. So this is titanx.win. And right now we're on day 75. And this is a very interesting project. This is based on ETH. So what you do is you can do a couple different ways. This is really a game. You can choose to play this game in many different ways. It's decentralized finance. And one of the biggest things about TitanX is that it is 100% decentralized. This thing is, so you can, down here you can see all the stakes that I have, or not stakes, these are my miners. I'm mining for a length of time. And basically what we're doing is we're mining using ETH and time. And this goes down every single day. That goes down and that goes up. So right now you can see it's $517 to start a miner, a full length miner. Now this has gone up because the ETH price just went up, because this is based on ETH and not dollars. It just shows you the value in dollars. You have to put $1,700 in and you get about a 240% return, which is just, that's crazy, 240%. So this is TitanX. It's day 75 of the entire project, but there's already a whole bunch of people building on TitanX. So I want to talk to you a little bit about TitanX. TitanX, this is their white paper, and they call it the Pumpamentals. But the sole design purpose for TitanX is to reduce supply, add programmatic buy pressure through smart contracts, and drive demand to the ecosystem through various avenues and game theory mechanics. So here's the main Pumpamentals. Now, the price right now is pretty low, and it's actually going down in the beginning of a project because there's certain things, the forces that are acting upon it that will make big price fluctuations in crypto. So you need to be okay with big price fluctuations. Really, investing in cryptocurrency, especially experimental projects like this, just be willing to lose all the money that you invest. If you're willing to lose all the money that you invest, then, you can play around with some money and then you can actually make some gains and figure it out. This is not financial advice, but that's how I look at it. It's like, don't take your entire portfolio and put it into an experimental project unless you want to, but you can. And some people that did in this probably actually did pretty well, but also there's a chance that all that can go to zero, always a chance. And you need to make sure that you understand that chance. However, TitanX has some really good fundamentals. One of the big thing about TitanX is it's 100% decentralized. It's just a smart contract. And so if you have ETH in a MetaMask wallet, you can participate in TitanX. You can either mine it or you can swap it for TitanX, and you can stake the TitanX, and there's benefits to that. You can also buy it and then burn it for certain reasons, which I didn't quite understand, but that's the interesting part about this game here. Here's the main fundamentals for TitanX ecosystem. TitanX has staking mechanics where users can earn massive ETH yield compared to other cryptos. That's also the big difference, is that we can earn ETH yield. So when you stake your TitanX, it doesn't pay you out in TitanX. It pays you out in ETH, which is a big difference than you would see from most coins. When you stake them, you would earn that coin instead of ETH. So to do so, you have to lock up your coins for a certain duration. The longer you lock, the more ETH yield you get. This mimics a certificate of deposit system used in banks. When these users are locked to earn yield, they can't sell. When they can't sell, there's less TitanX on the market, so it becomes more scarce and more valuable to get. They, in essence, get rewarded handsomely for protecting the price. Because of the supply lockup mechanisms inside of TitanX, that also means the liquidity pool for TitanX will be able to be kept small, so that the buy and burn has maximum effect on pushing up the price and burning supply off the market forever. TitanX also has a proof of burn 2.0 mechanism built into it, where developers within the ecosystem can use TitanX to launch their own tokens. When they do, that TitanX gets burned out of existence forever, which means it can never be sold. Constant buy and burning from miners getting started makes TitanX more and more scarce to obtain over time. This buying happens programmatically throughout smart contracts and is completely decentralized, and all public functions are called by users. Very crazy. That's what's really cool about this. There isn't some founders that have a ton of tokens that can just pull the rug at any time. The founders actually had to buy in on day one. I wish I knew about this on day one, but I didn't. I didn't know about this until day 65. And every day that goes by, it actually, you lose the opportunity to mine as much, and it costs a little bit more. Every day through the daily update function, and that's where we get into here, the amount of TitanX that can be mined is reduced, and it becomes more expensive to mine over time, increasing the ETH cost. This is a more aggressive version of the 4-year Bitcoin halving. The TitanX daily reductions add up to more than one halving per year, plus the ETH cost increase. This pushes up the cost of production floor over time, as it becomes harder and harder to produce one TitanX as time goes on. This is also one of the reasons I'm really excited about this project, is because every year the Bitcoin halving definitely has an effect on the entire market, but it's the one pulling the market around right now. But if this actually halves more than every year, we're going to have a much more rapid time to get to a place where it's probably pretty expensive to mine tokens in the next 10 years on TitanX. And it will not only be expensive to mine tokens, the tokens are probably going to have to increase in value if that happens. The other reason is because now there's additional stuff that they're building on top of this TitanX, which is very cool. So 5 key fundamentals: massive buy and burn pressure on small liquidity pools. Largest portion of the supply is staked because users want to make massive payouts. Large portion of the supply is burned because users want to participate in projects plus get ETH payouts. Becomes harder and more expensive to create with every passing day. And the future supply with the miners are burnable as well, creating a supply squeeze on future TitanX. Also, the cherry on top is that TitanX is at its core a leverage play on the value of ETH. To create miners, people use ETH plus time. As ETH gets more expensive and more globally adopted, the value of TitanX should grow with it because it's directly tied to it. The ratio is set and only becomes harder and more expensive to mine over time. So I'm not going to get into the whole rest of this white paper here. But if you'd like me to go over this white paper with you, and if you have any questions on this, just put them in the comments below. But what is Hyper? Hyper will be the first protocol to be built on top of TitanX. Confidential for now. Now, if we go into Twitter here, or I'm sorry, X, we are going to go to Jake Sharp. He's the founder of TitanX. And, just go to Twitter, find Jake Sharp if you're interested in this, follow him because he has the actual specific stuff, how you're going to add it to your MetaMask wallet and stuff. If you want to know about that, if you're this far and you want to find out about TitanX, you probably already know how to do a MetaMask wallet. But if it's something that I should do a video on, please let me know in the comments below. TitanX Phase 1, fairly get supply in the hands of as many people as possible, build the initial community. TitanX Phase 2, build protocols that use and burn TitanX as fuel, and build LP pools around TitanX paired with builders projects. TitanX Phase 3, enter hyperdeflation as supply becomes more scarce and harder to produce over time. No, this won't happen in 2 days. Now, let's look at this chart here. ETH cost per TitanX max miner. These are days down here. So day 500, it's gone from under a quarter of an ETH to above a quarter of an ETH. So it's an exponential area. 500 days, about a year and a half. So it's going to cost significantly more, especially if ETH costs more. So over the next 500 days, if ETH rises to $20,000 a coin, this is going to be pretty expensive at this moment to mine. And then we can get all the way up here to 2,000 days out, which is a decade out. I mean, what is ETH going to cost in a decade? Is ETH going to be, $100,000 a coin? If so, it's going to cost $100,000 in 2,000 days to do one max miner. And then look, so this is the cost per miner over time, and this is how much TitanX you're able to mine over time. This drops off much quicker than the cost rises. This actually drops off to near zero in 1,000 days, right here at this point. So by that point, there's going to be by day 3,000, there's very little TitanX being mined, and the TitanX costs 1 ETH per whatever they're doing, okay? T-rank bonus amounts. Now, T-rank is another thing where you actually get bonuses based upon when you sign up. So when you buy your first miner and you're mining, every single person who starts a miner after you gives you a little bit of T-rank bonus on that miner. So it's an interesting process, but it's a bonus. Let me just show you how that actually works here. In my miners, the ones that I started first, look, my T rank here is 234, 220. And I did a bulk miner, so these are in a row, 220, 221, 222. I did those on January 2nd, which, 8 days ago. Then when I started researching TitanX, I'm like, ooh, I need to do some more miners. So I added some more miners. I added 9. I wanted to see if there was some game theory behind doing shorter power, like a 25 power miner. And I did batch create. So you can create up to 100 miners here at a time. Or I'm sorry, up to 10 miners. No, up to 100 if you wanted to. But that would cost you $51,000 right now in 22 ETH, basically. So the ROIs that we're experiencing right now are going down because the price of TitanX is going down right now. And then the T-rank bonuses, this is how much I've earned, 159 million T-rank bonuses. All my miners, by the end of them, will have produced 9.4 billion Titan. And this is the bonus, which supposedly will be worth, at these current prices, it will be worth $13,000 at the end of this miner, at the end of all these miners. Now, there's a lot of game theory that goes into here. We actually need to go through this project in depth in another video. I just wanted to show you what this is right now so you would know about TitanX, because it is something you need to know about. At least hear about it. There are some things being built on TitanX, like the TitanX market. There's something called Pyro Protocol. I have not done any research on that yet necessarily. You need to do your own research on everything. But the big one I'm excited about is Hyper. In order to burn for Hyper, you're going to need liquid TitanX. But you'll also be able to burn your stakes. So in here, you can go to stake, and you can actually see if you stake some TitanX, you have to trade it. You have to have ETH, trade it for TitanX, and then stake that TitanX. And I have one stake down here that has gone down in value, but when you look at these payouts, I've already got $70 in ETH payouts. And I only started that stake 4 days ago. I did put $1,000 worth of ETH in the stake, but that was 4 days ago, and it's already earned me $70 in ETH. Now, every 8 days, I get this payout. Every 28 days, I get this payout, which is bigger. And I didn't even really stake that much. And then every 90 days, I get this payout. So on day 90, which we're on day 75, I'm going to get this payout, 471. On day 84, I'm going to get 226 worth of ETH. And then on day 80, I'm going to have another 12. So by day 90, which is 15 days from now, $400, $500, $600, $700, $800 worth of ETH, which is basically as much as I invested. So now I get to keep these rolling. I can claim my ETH payouts. I can keep staking more, because what I can do, I staked this for long though too. When you see my staking, you can stake for really long. I staked this for 3,500 days. But the reason I did that, because that's max payout. And if I want to participate in Hyper, I can burn my stake. So I might as well take my liquid Titan, stake it, and burn it for Hyper. However, there are now 2 Hypers, and we're not going to get into that right now. I will do a video just on Hyper, but there's some different graphs and other things you can look at. Here's the Ether scan of TitanX. You can see max supply. There is a wallet here with 44% owned, but I'm wondering if this is the buy and burn wallet. But that's the other thing. So when you go in here and you go to stats, you can actually see there has been 12 trillion, wait, that is million, billion, trillion burned. 61% of the entire supply has been bought and burned. The liquid supply is only under 9% right now. You can see these over here, these numbers. So right now there's $2 million in liquid supply. There is almost $8 million staked. And there's 37,000 in penalties. And I haven't gone over penalties yet, but we do need to get into that. That's important. User burned. Some people have burned their own yet. There's not necessarily a huge benefit yet for user burned TitanX. However, all the stuff being built on top of it will be interesting to see what happens with user burn. Buy and burn. There's already been $16 million of TitanX bought and burned, sent to the buy and burn contract. And then LP fees burned, there's been 26,000. So this is the big one here, the buy and burn. Now 12 trillion, let's actually see if that's the same number as this one. No, that's not the same number. So this is not, so I'll bet you this is the founder. I'll bet you this is Jake's wallet, and he just basically invested day one. He went all in, and he was able to mine the most, and basically, I'll bet you this is his wallet. So he didn't technically, so there is a potential rug pull here at 44% ownership in one wallet. If even this wallet at 11% and this wallet at 5%, these can have effects on the price if someone dumped 44% of the tokens at some point. However, right now the price is not necessarily the indicator I'm buying on, because the price is 5 zeros and then 1363. When I bought, it was about double, actually. It was 5 zeros and like 2.6. But when I go to my mining, I'm still at a 232% return on my miners, even though the price has dropped in half. So there's a lot of game theory going on in TitanX, but let me know what you guys think about this. I'm really fascinated by this project on the Ethereum blockchain. And when you're looking at I like looking at the RSI and the MACD and the volume. You want to keep an eye on the volume too, and you can kind of see this volume really start picking up here. It has a much higher base of volume starting right here in December, and then leading. It's basically that volume's keeping nice and steady. Now we are going down on the RSI, which means a lot of times I'm on the 4-hour chart right now since we don't have much data. But this is a lot of times what happens is a coiling effect. So if this is a coiling effect, we could see it shoot back up to the top of the RSI. It's really just finding its levels now. I mean, it's only on, we're only on day 75. So it is finding its own levels. And when you go to the daily chart, which I like looking at daily, it's just crazy because there's really not much data. Literally 75 days worth of data. So really not much on RSI or MACD on the daily. So that's why I like the 4-hour for that reason, and possibly even the 1-hour. The 1-hour chart might give us a little bit more detail into what's going on in these sections. You can see these big gaps. That's because there's really not a lot of supply yet. There's not a lot of liquidity in the market. But you know, it's been dropping steadily. It actually is making a new bottom right now. However, we do have a wick right when it started down to here. So, I mean, I could see it hitting 6 zeros and like a 5. Or 6 zeros and a 9, you know. But if it does that, you know, there might be an opportunity to either buy additional liquid TitanX or figure out how you want to play the game. There's a whole bunch of game theory involved in this, but that is the first episode, everybody. I hope you guys got some value out of this episode. I hope you get a chance to look into TitanX. And if you look in the description below, you can see this. It's docs.titanx.win. And that allows you to come in here and read the whole white paper. And then if you just go to app.titanx.win, you can really explore putting everything in here. And in tools, go to calculator, and you can mess around with mining and staking and seeing what kind of payouts you can get. And then you can quickly share on socials and take screenshots here. So this is the project. Do your own research. I hope you guys are going to do well. I'm going to come back. Ask me any questions in the comments, and I'm going to be doing more videos on TitanX for you, letting you know how it goes on this experimental project, letting you know when Hyper is available, and how to get involved with Hyper as soon as I know more. You guys are amazing, and until next time, Crypto Awesome out.